Hi, and welcome to my channel. This is all brand new for me, so I hope you stick around and you like what I'm doing. Please let me know either way. That way I can get better. Today I'm going to go ahead and we're going to make these simple magnets. I'm just going to show you the process that I use to make them. It's really easy. If you don't want to make it from scratch, I will have the file available on my website. So anyways, let's just get right into it. Really easy. I grab the square, decide on my size. I think on here I did, I'm going to do 3.5 by 5. I think that's what I did. Something like that. Doesn't matter the size. You can adjust it later anyways. Then I come over here and I use the ellipse tool. And I just grab the edge to edge. That looks pretty good, right? And before I go any further, this square should be centered and this should be centered. It's just how I work. You do it the way you want. Bring it down till it clicks. It's not critical it hits the bottom. I'm just doing that for the video. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of that. And well, copy and paste. And again, you do this the way you normally would do it. I'm going to move it up. You can grab the edge right there and move right up till it hits. Yeah, see how it went off? There we go, close enough. Now I do want to make it wider because the coffee cup is going to be slightly angled. So go ahead and make that a little bit wider. I'm going to center it again because it's just easy. And bring it up, and there you have that. Next I come over and I take my 2-point tool, grab the where it says quadrant, bring it down to that edge. You want to do the same here, or if it's on a node, however it works for you. And then next, I'm going to get rid of the square. You can move it out of the way like that. I'm going to delete it. I really don't need it anymore. And there's my basic mug thing. Now I want to put the handle on. So you can use this ellipse tool, but I like the 3-point for this because I want to follow this angle. So I'm going to just grab that at the angle and then bring it out. And you're going to adjust this later too, so it doesn't really matter. Next, I'm going to go to my contour. I want to contour to the inside. 0.3 is what I had done before. It's already set. You can decide on your corners. I'm leaving it there. Hit apply, and it gave me the contour. And you do need to break that apart in order to change the inside again. So now I've changed that, but I'm going to adjust it. Let's see, I'm going to come in a little bit. I'm going to come up here a little bit. Oops, maybe too much. Yeah, I don't like that. And you're just going to move this around until you have something that you like. For the video, yeah, I don't like that. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do is move this out a little bit. Want a little bit more of a. That's going to come up here, and I'm just going to get rid of all of that. And that looks okay. You know, that's something you want to play around with. Go ahead. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to group everything. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So now next you want to decide what you wanted to say. How about that? Type what you want it to say. Clever, huh? Next, I will center it to my liking. This is, you do it any way you want. And then I'm going to center it here as well. That way it's on its own. Bring it in. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit, but again, you can change this later, so it doesn't really matter. Moving it out of the way. I'm going to use the envelope tool next, and I do the color fill, and the reason for that is sometimes when I don't, it just doesn't work, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. When I do the color fill, and I'll show you why. Let me back up here. I'm going to get rid of the bottom. I don't want that. This is where I want the typeface, this whole section here. So I come over to the color fill, put a color in, doesn't matter what, And I'm going to then shape it, and I'll show you why. I'm going to put a shape around it, or boundary, okay. And I'm going to move that out of the way just so you can see it. I don't want the writing to be all the way to the edge, so I'm going to contour this to the inside, just like we did on the handle, and apply. And you can play around with the spacing, that's up to you. Next, I will break that apart. If you want to use that inside, you do need to break that apart. Whoop. I hate that, huh? Okay, so next, just for the video, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to move it over. So now you see where it's going to be. Click on your type, grab your envelope tool, grab your thingy here. See how it changed the arrow? Click the arrow, and it made the type the same shape. And now I can move that type over. So get rid of the color up, just bring it to the front, and adjust it within those lines as close as you want it to be. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get rid of the color. We don't need that. I'm going to get rid of the bounding box. We don't need that. And look, there you have it. So we just delete all of this. Next, I'm going to get rid of these lines on the handle. So we don't want those. Those will cut out later if you're not careful. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to do that. The other thing at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the type out of the way. And I'm just going to make sure this is all hairline, because that's what I want. Okay. And I don't know why that didn't. Yeah. I'll change it all to red. And everybody does different colors on their own machines, and I just do red. So it changed the whole thing to red. Okay, I'm going to put the typeface back, just to show. So there's a couple different ways you can go now. You don't want to cut this line out here. So what I do, there's two different ways of doing it. I will color fill it, add that in, move it out of the way. I'm going to add a boundary around it. There you go. And we don't need the color anymore. Get rid of the color. There's my boundary. One of the things you can do, well, okay, I guess I shouldn't have done it that way. Anyways, one of the things you can do is I bring down a line, decide where I want that line, right about here, and that just gives me a guide. Go back to my 2 point, hit on the line, and come all the way over, like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this away, and that line allows it to not cut more away. I'm going to cut the top away. Then I'm going to change this line to a different color. And I do the blue because that's the way my machine's set up. And then I move that over and you can get rid of this line here, get rid of the boundary box. What this does is if I want to just do this the way it is, I can set the laser to cut the blue line at a faster speed, lower power, so it doesn't cut out, it doesn't cut through, and then the rest will cut through. So that's one way of doing it. The other thing you can do at this point is I'll make a copy, paste, and move this in, is simply fill this back in, and you probably want to go with a darker color. Okay, make a layer black because we're going to etch it. And then get rid of that blue line. You actually don't need that. And I should have done a lighter color so you can see it. But we're going to get rid of the blue line, move that back, and that will just etch, and your outside will cut. And there you go. If you want to make it a keychain, you're going to put a hole in it. If you want to make it a wall piece, you're going to make it larger, you're going to make it smaller. You're going to just change this to whatever you want. And that's basically it. On this one, I put the steam. Well, I'll show you that too. Let's see what we do. Get these out of the way. There's your coffee cup. You can do whatever you want with that now. At this point, put all fun quotes in it, images. It doesn't matter. Anything you want. The other thing, in order to do the steam, I just simply went to over here. I did the banner shapes. It's up here. I used that shape, and I went something like that. And then I just changed it so it went up and down because that's what we want. I don't know why this is here. Anyways. Then you can hit your shape tool and shape this different ways. Let's just give that a try. Shape it. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what I did, but you can play around with it. I came over here and fillet. I hit fillet. It's on 0.2. I don't know if that's what I did, but okay, I think you have to change this to curve. Yeah, and then you can hit apply. Yeah, whatever. And there's your smoke, your steam, whatever you want to call that. So then what I did was I made a copy of it, paste, moved it over, paste, moved it over. Obviously it's too far, so just kind of play around with your spacing. Oops. Corel does that all the time. And there's your spacing. And you can then go ahead and play, make one shorter, make one longer, twist one around. You know, you do whatever you want there. Fill it in. Well, actually, before we do that, we're going to group it. And then I always make copies of everything. That way, if I screw it up, because I don't screw things up, but you never know. I'm going to go ahead and grab the cup, and I'm going to make a copy of that too. I'm grouping it just to be sure. Copy, paste, put it in the center of the page. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the center of the page so it's centered left to right. It's too long. I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to move it over. And you just play around with where you want it. That doesn't really matter. But here's the thing I'm going to do next. I want that to cut out, but I don't want these to be just hanging because it'd be very weak. So I'm going to go back over to the contour. I'm going to do it to the outside. I think, try 0.1. Apply. Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. We're going to break it apart. And then I'm going to cut away. Don't want that. Don't want that. I think I'm going to close this. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to the shape. Oops, I'm just going to bring it over. And again, you play around with that till you get what you like. I mean, I don't particularly like this, but it's good for this, right? Okay, so next, get rid of these lines. You don't want these. And I think I'm going to move this out of the way. I want to see something. No, I guess that's good. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, we don't want to cut these out. We want to fill it. So I'm going to add the fill. And I would do the gray, but you know. And then we're going to get rid of the lines. So I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to click on that, get rid of that. I don't want it. Move this all back. And I will change this to the black so you can see it better. There you go. And you do have to be careful. These lines have to go. That was what I didn't think. So I'm going to change that to my hairline. I'm going to change that to red. We've got to get rid of all of that in there. So just to make sure I get it all, I'm going to move this back out of the way. Oops. And get rid of all of this. We don't want that to cut. There you go. And move this back. And there you go. You're ready to do it that way. The file that I've got done is a little bit different with the smoke. I kind of played around and did it a little bit better, but that gives you a better idea. You can see what that is. So again, if you want to learn, go ahead and try doing it the way I did. It's not the only way. See if that's what you like. And if you have questions, really reach out. I'm here to help. That's what I'm trying to do. And if you really just don't want to do it, you just want the file that I made here, you can go over to my website. I'll have that listed down below. And thank you. Thank you for watching. Please hit like. Please subscribe. This is brand new. I'm not sure what direction I'm going to go into. I do laser work. I do painting. I do all kinds of craft things. And I'm hoping to just kind of explore on here and share what I do and teach a little bit because that's what I like to do. And that's about it. Have a nice day. Thank you for looking. And I will see you on the next one.